being an observer. First, you are an observer, and then you play your role as employer, as boss, or as a husband, or as wife, or as daughter. That is all. So you see, when I see that I'm playing a role, I cannot get into anxiety, stress, reaction, duality because I'm playing a role. I'm playing a role. It's a role. It's an actor. And the more and more we do it, observer and observed becomes clear to us. Yes, it is an honest analysis and understanding and reflection that yes, we have lot of challenges because the mind jumps because of the past impression, anxiety, reaction, seeking pleasure constantly. I will make it more clear by taking one reference. It came to my mind in the previous lesson. Check. You have a burning desire to be in relationship with someone outside. So you have a sense of anxiety. You have a burning desire to eat the food you like and you repeat eating it. It is either overeating or it is an addiction to eating. Where the observer and observed messed up. Now you see, you have a burning desire for peace and happiness. It is not an obsession, it is not craving. What happens? We have an intense desire for awakening that lives 24 by 7. 24 by 7. You will find it is already a purified state of the mind. That is why you have a burning desire for awakening. And that we miss. When we miss, mind returns to the observer and observed mess up. It messes up.
The desire of happiness and peace, it's not abundant desire, because it's not question of do something, it's more question what not to do.
What not to do and recognize that I am of the nature of peace and happiness. So it is not a binding desire. Beautifully, yes, beautifully said. So I have to live with that awareness, with that cognition. So the more I live with that cognition, the life changes. Then I don't fall into anxiety and reaction. Oh, come on, peace is here. Honey, you are okay. You reacted to me, you are okay. Mind says, okay, very good. I will talk to you later. Why peace is here. But when the binding desire of peace and happiness is there, then you have an anxiety. Then you have reaction. Then the ego returns. Ego says, how dare you don't love me? I have been taking care of you. I paid you a lot of money for your dress last week. You see the messing up of the observer and observed. And this mess up, we are not carefree. We fall into the problem. So yes, Axis method is helping you and it is making you more and more clear. And yes, with that access method, you can add any Mangal. Before you can add any Mangalachara. It may be Asatoma Asatagamaya. It may be Sarvesham Sustir Vavatu. It may be anywhere. So just see, close your eyes. We will start our journey with the Mangala Charan. You just close your eyes and we look inside the heart and then we repeat. You see that? You repeat mentally or loudly, Asatoma Satgamaya. Asatu ma sat gamaya. Asatu ma sat gamaya. We are repeating minimum 3 times so that we can ask the mind to return to what we are doing. You live in the present moment. You become aware. You notice what the mind is saying. And then 3 times the meaning, moving from the false to the real, moving from the false to the real, moving from the false to the real. And then we reflect on it. Let me see. Let me become. There are many ways. You have to devise your own ways and then see what happens. What happens? One way that you look at the body is body changes false, breath changes false, mind changes false. You just declare, simply say. You need not to worry. Oh, it's whatever is changing. Thought, feeling, emotions keeps changing. It is false. Then what exactly is the real, unchanging? Do I know it at present? I don't know it, but I will know. I will find it out. That what is this? Even that statement of reflection is there in your mind, it calms you down. Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya. Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya. Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya. Moving from ignorance to wisdom. So if your mind reflects, oh, I have already understood ignorance, delusion, impurities of the mind. Oh, lot of challenges. I have to work on it. So, but the moment I have a cognition, I have a cognition, it means knowledge and understanding. Knowledge of what? I simply recognize that this is who I am. And so there are two parts. When the mind says you are anxiety, no, this is the thought of anxiety. I am peace, yes, I am peace. So that will take you to a deeper. You have to reflect mentally. Mrityurmamritangamaya. Whether you say it mentally loudly doesn't make any difference. Mrityurma amritangamaya. Mrityurma amritangamaya. Direct reflection. What is direct reflection? Oh, simple. What is simple? That anything that changes is subjected to the birth, growth, aging, and the death. And what does not change is not. So, am I unchanging reality? Answer is yes. I am unchanging reality. That that needs to be settled in our mind. So once we reach there, what we have done basically, we have done all the 3 steps of access. ACC. We are not aware of that. In the background, the mind is clear. Okay, I can see. Why you have done C? The second C. Because false is not me, ignorance is not me, mortality, the birth, growth, and the death is not me. So obviously, one part of the sea, being an observer, is done, and you can directly move to the breath. So you can just look at the breath for a while, and after that, you can simply Om Shanti on the breath, Om Shanti on the breath, Om Shanti on the breath, and then you will recognize, oh, it's happening, it's happening, it's happening. So once it starts happening, the next step is that how long we can sustain, how long we live into this state. Oh, casually, no, Shanti. Om Shanti, you're just casually, you are into that state. And if that happens for a longer period where you are free, you feel the sense of freedom, a sense of joy. So any mantra you can pick up before you do the access method of mindfulness or meditation. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down, and you are into that state of awareness. So you see the beauty of the Mangalacharan. You're directly moving inside. You're directly pinpointing cognitive understanding, false and real, ignorance and wisdom, death and immortality, changing or unchanging. So let the mind settle into that every day, and you will find there comes a cognitive change. I told you, cognitive changes, cognitive change. It will change your attitude, behavior, and conduct. When there is a change inside, attitude, behavior, and conduct from inside, it will be expressed in thought, speech, and action. We are done with it. So, the last week we did the three lessons together, the two words, one restless seeker and a restful seeker. So, it means I remember. It's a cognition, it's an awareness. Am I a restful seeker or restless seeker? You wake up in the morning, you are a restless seeker. Sarvesham Swastir. You just don't wait. Let me, no, just follow it instantly. Why? You have already recognized, this anxiety is not me, but still there I experience. So let me change it. So the two words, two type of person I am. Either I am a restful seeker or I am a restless seeker. That is what we did in the first lesson. In the second lesson, we did it, we equated it with, we dealt deeply with it. who are we really, wave or ocean? And from there we had an understanding. If I am a restless seeker, obviously I'm identifying as a wave. That is why I have anxiety, duality, conflict, etc., etc., etc. But then, how it helps me to explore my inner journey? It explores me because of the Shreyas and Prayas. We did it with a better or comfortable choice. And we merged this all into one lesson that was last week. So I remember, oh, who I am. Am I restless and anxious? Am I sad? Oh, okay. So mine, you are hiding something deep within. As a restless seeker, no, you have to be a restful seeker. So the more and more subtler our mind becomes, we are able to recognize. It's a cognition. We are able to become aware. Oh yes, no way, no way to enter into sadness, anxiety, reaction, etc., etc. Throughout the day, I'm moving into that state of the calmness. Why? It is my nature. I have a cognition. If my nature is anxiety, then obviously do whatever you want to do. You cannot remove that anxiety because it is your nature. Stress is your nature, so you cannot get rid of it. Do whatever you want to do. Nature means my essential nature. Essential nature means you cannot subtract into it, you cannot add into it. That is your essential nature. Anxiety, you can subtract it, yes. You can add it, yes. Reaction, subtract and add. You think of it. Anything. Age. Oh, I am 60 years old. Forget, I'm the body. I'm not the body. So if I am the body, I can subtract and I can add. Nature. When we say nature, we cannot subtract, we cannot add into it. Peace is peace. Happiness is happiness. But the moment seeking, binding desire for happiness outside, I can subtract and add. I can marry and divorce. One example I always give. So it is, you see that. So the more you live into that awareness, it is an observer and observe. Oh, yes. Oh, it is. So I explained in a different way in previous sessions. I'm not repeating the person A, person baseline animal mind, person 2 is the discerning mind, person 3 is the default and impulsive mind. So just, whenever you have a time, you can contemplate and reflect on this. That is how I started, and then I came into the structured and systematic study. Today's lesson, so once we have all the 4 lessons, 2 types of a person, or sometime I become one person, restless seeker, sometime I become a restful seeker. Is being a restful seeker is better than the restless seeker? Answer is yes. It is happening because wave versus an ocean, and the basic principle is the Shreyas and Prayas. It means if my thought, speech, and action goes for the Shreyas, I can maintain that status quo of calmness. Then if now the today's lesson is all about real self, who we really are. It means there is something inside me. There is an inner sun. That bright sun is inside me. So that is the light of the consciousness is inside me. That is ever present. That is always present. So that is the state of being. That is the state of knowing. That is the state of the joy. and that is the real self. That is Satchidanand. So we have different ways of every explanation goes in a different direction but reaches to the same goal. Whether you say it is a state of being, whether you say it is a state of knowing, state of bliss, or you say Sat Chit Anand, but we will focus on Sat Chit Anand. It has a clear understanding. And that Sat Chit Anand is our inner Sat. It is ever present. So when it is ever present, it is the state of being. When it is ever present, I am conscious of it, it is knowing. It is the witness consciousness. Yeah, these words appears little confusing, but more repetition, more contemplation and reflection helps us to settle into this inner sun of Sat Chit Anand. So you just, think of yourself as an inner sun, clouds of mood, of age, of loss, of gain, of success, of failure keep drifting by, but the sun itself never flickers. Again, you see, we are separating. We are separating. Sat is never absent existence. I'm defining in a different way so that you can logically understand. What I said, it is never absent existence. Oh, here is a body. Body exists. It falls down. So it is not never absent existence. Today it is present. Tomorrow it will be absent. So anything that is never absent existence. Water is never absent existence, and wave is ever absent existence. It comes and it goes. It appears and disappears. Thought comes and goes. Feeling is here and the feeling is there. So it means, when we say Sat, it means we are talking of existence. We are not talking of what exists. Or what exists, wave exists because of water. So now translate that. That wave exists because of the existence of water. Now, the problem in this metaphor is that we can see the water. But for existence, we can't see through our naked eyes or the mind. It cannot comprehend that existence, that truth is ever present, never absent, anywhere, everywhere. That is why in our language also, what we say, house is, body is. So body is ever changing, wave, and is that existence, isness.
Yeah, no, wave its manifestation.
You're right. It is a many. So if my mind should reflect anything that is visible in this universe is manifestation. And
But
because,
we cannot get what is manifest. What is the cause of
yeah,
manifestation?
we will understand that. What is the goal of manifestation? Because of that, My consciousness is limited first by the mind, then limited by the sense organ. Then I see this manifestation of the body, of the world outside. It means it helps me to raise my awareness to know more, and gradually by return journey. Oh, senses are limited, I have understood. So let me return the senses to the mind. I return to the mind. So because of the thought, feeling, and emotions, I recognize the world outside. Let me get rid of it. So I enter into the mindfulness or empty state. I can reflect the real self. So if there is no limited awareness of this manifestation, I cannot even recognize if I am a conscious being or not. We need two. So that in the beginning, but gradually it is only one consciousness. I gave you a small answer for this, and that's a big question and a big topic that helps us to reach to the highest state. We will talk about that. So I gave you a brief answer. So never absent existence. Now coming to the chit. Chit is the knowing light. Means I become aware of what exists and what is existence because of the consciousness. But then consciousness are not separate. They are one. They are one. For the sake of understanding, we say Sat Chit Anand, but they are one. It means existence extends itself as consciousness, and then consciousness extends itself as permanent peace or happiness. Nobody, why we are understanding? That is me, that is real me. It is not passing like the clouds. There is a total fullness. A torch, flashlight. So flashlight cannot see itself. Why? It is always looking outside. Why it is looking outside? So there they do not have mind in the sense organs. We have the mind in sense organs, and we are so much obsessed with it. Show me the real self in front of me. Means I want to convert everything as objective reality, which is not possible. So here is the Sat Chit Anand is the subjective reality. Subjective reality cannot be seen. It does. It is. This body, mind, breath, intellect, and ego are all manifestations of the same Satchidanand. And from the manifestation, I want to see where is the real self not possible. So there is a cognition. In Bhakti Yoga, we say just remember, remember, remember. What do you remember? I am the Satchidanand. I am the Satchidanand. I am the Satchidanand. So the mind says you are suffering. I am Satchidanand. You have two thoughts, you choose one. But if I don't recall and remember in the beginning, I have to remember and recall in the beginning, then only I can get rid of, because mind needs some dependency. Mind always engages itself on some thought, some feeling, some emotion. So we say, okay, mind, is there any problem when you say that you are Satchidanand rather than you say you are in anxiety? Yeah, there is no problem. But the moment you say I'm Shanto, it is a better choice than a comfortable choice. How to get rid of the anxiety? I have a lot of anxiety. You go to the doctor. Doctor gives you the pill and it suppresses your brain nerves, and then you say, now I'm feeling good. You can also feel good by reclaiming that I'm already calm. This is a thought of anxiety. You repeat it maybe 5, 10 times with clear awareness. So I am anxiety becomes observed, separate, manifestation, gone. And it happens in our life almost every day. You are burning, you want to react, you want to fight with a guy, and that guy approaches and you say, oh, leave it, I have to do other things also. Yeah, I'm okay, you are okay and I'm okay, bye bye. We do it, but we are not aware of it. You are in extreme anxiety, well, you have to take a flight. So one part of you inside is fully aware. It says, no, let me drive. You drive carefully. Once you reach to the airport, and then your anxiety returns because you were in ignorance. But if you are ignorant, if you play wisely, gone. These things happens all the time in our life because of that such a keen observation of our great masters who lived in the Himalayas or the forest. They found out this is the process of contemplation and reflection. So listening alone and learning alone do not serve. I have to question. I have to raise the doubt. What do you mean I'm into anxiety? I have to raise doubt. Am I really into anxiety? But all experiences takes place in the mind. So it means that experience of anxiety and a thought is also coming from the mind, yes. But I 100% am aware that I'm not the mind. So if I'm not the mind, so whatever the contents of the mind is also not me. So it is better not to say that I'm into anxiety, it is a thought of anxiety. Conclusion is you just contemplate and reflect and you see that your anxiety is gone. Your reaction is gone. But we follow a systematic approach. Huh? Inner sun and the passing weather. That is what we started our discussion. First, we understand what is Satchidanand, and then we put the information, knowledge into the intellect. Whatever you rightly said, whatever is visible or whatever is visible is a manifestation, and whatever is manifestation keeps on changing, and whatever is changing cannot be me. So now, for that we have a metaphor of the clouds. Weather is passing. We have too much of cold, we relate it to January, February, March. And after that, everything changes. The weather is changing. Satchidanand is not changing. That sun is not changing. Unchanged, self-luminous means it becomes aware of itself. It is consciousness. Lamp in the room. It is like lamp in the room. So now we are expanding. By this metaphor, we are expanding. It is because of the light of the lamp, I am aware of all the items and the objects in the room. And in becoming aware of different manifestations and objects and items in the room, I forget the lamp when the lamp is here and now. Lamp is there. But I get obsessed with my partner. I love you, honey. Oh, the wall is so beautiful. I have such a beautiful painting on the wall. I, fo- I am seeing it, I am witnessing it in the presence of the lamp light. But I don't see the light of the lamp. But in the same light, I am aware of the painting, I am aware of my partner, I am aware of all the items. The master is pointing out that Satchidanand is here and now, and you are missing the point. In the presence of the consciousness, we are having a session. In the presence of that light, you can say the light of that consciousness, you are listening through your ears, your mind is receiving it, your intellect is digesting and understanding in the presence of the consciousness. Without that consciousness, nothing. And still we want to know where is the real self. Because we have many layers of ignorance. So the master says you keep this in your mind, and then we will go deeper, we will reach to that state. You look at the another metaphor of ocean and the waves. Wave says, I am old, I am lonely, I am scared. Ocean says, 50 years ago I was water. 30 years I am water. And today also I am water. Where is where is old? Where you are lonely? Where you are scared? You are scared, lonely, old with reference to the wave. Wave is just a manifestation. You are not. No, you see that how much relaxed and calm you become. Oh, I was fallen into ignorance and delusion, and once you recognize it, your fear is gone. Your anxiety is gone. You abide into that. Oh my God. That's why. That is why we use these metaphors. There is a thought of age. There is a feeling of loneliness, a wave of fear known in me, not equal to me. Do you understand? Mathematical. You are engineer, so I'm just using that engineering language. Wave, aging, old, loneliness is not equal to what I am. They are different waves. All the waves are not equal to the water. Common sense. We don't need IQ. So, this is a deeper perception from the first lesson we started, the worldly, spiritual. The worldly mind, spiritual mind. Wisdom, intellect, default intellect. What is changing? Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. I had taken for granted that this word of the name and the form is only the reality. No! There is something deeper. So that is why we started with worldly mind means all the manifestations are real in your language. But no, there has to be a cause. Even in scientific knowledge, we just work with the cause and effect. Why with cause and effect? Because it gives me the knowledge, it gives me the awareness of what it is. So this Sat, Never absent existence. Everything borrows existence from one background reality, that is Sat. We are going deeper now. Where you are, you say, here I am. So that I am thought in the mind borrows its existence from the Sat. Before you say I am, you already exist.
Yes.
So that is the ultimate, that is the existence. From the existence, you are aware. Intellect says yes, there is something exist. Okay. No, I am here. So this I am is just a manifestation. It is just a thought from the mind, but before the mind there is something that exists. That is never absent existence. You lie down and check. I am is there, yes. You stand up, I am is there. You run, I am is there. You drive, I am is there. Now see, everything in this world, body, mind, intellect, ego, you, me, your home, my home, New York, Ukraine, India, everything borrows its existence from one Sat. That existence behind is the same. All our visible manifestations are, seems different in color, shape, size, power. That existence is all pervading. Why it is all pervading? You exist there because of existence. I exist because of the same existence. Can there be two existences? No.
But also not existence also cannot be.
Never absent existence. What a beautiful way to understand our masters. But that existence, and I am aware of that because of consciousness, so that is Chit.
But consciousness, before consciousness also existence. Consciousness exists.
We, for the sake of understanding, we have divided into three, but they both are one. You are husband, you are son, you are father. Where is the difference? Difference at the outer level. Sat, Chit, Anand, when we say in the language, it appears they are three. But in one state, before the daughter, you are the father. Before the partner, you are the husband. Huh? Before the employees, you are the boss. So where differences appears, differences appears. Where? Outside. Through the mind and senses. Because they are limited. Otherwise, is there any difference? No. So that is why simply think in this way, okay, that is existence and this is what it exists. Who says this? Without consciousness, can I say it? No. So is the consciousness and existence are one? Yes. There is another way to understand. When I say there is only existence, is only one, and all are manifestation, who is saying this? I am seeing this. Can I say it before I exist? No. But do I say it instantly in a flicker without, there is no distance in time into it? Yes, there is no distance in time. Existence, I am aware. Both are simultaneous. So that is why we say Sat and Chit. Another way to understand, it was the same consciousness that knew childhood, that knew adulthood, that knew middle age, that will know old age. Same. So existence and consciousness, same. And because it is infinite, when there is a infinity, ananda, ananda, infinity, no limitation. So that shows the intrinsic wholeness and completeness. It means it is the state of permanent happiness. Ananda is not a mood, but the absence of inner lack. It is a fullness that remains even when the surface feelings are mixed up. It is always present behind our anxiety, duality, and a conflict. That is why we are searching for peace in anxiety and in reaction in stress. If there is no awareness of that, how can you search it? Then, so Sat Chit Anand is the background of all the moods: joy, sadness, excitement, boredom, loneliness, all appear in awareness. All appear in awareness, but they are not awareness. None of them defines awareness. Or instead of awareness, you can say conscious. None of them defines consciousness. But I'm aware of my joy only because of consciousness. So, Master says you have to contemplate, reflect again and again and again until you demystify the meaning of Satchidananda. No vagueness, no mythology, no overloading. So, when you demystify it by constant contemplation and reflection, I am here. To whom you are referring? I am referring to the body, mind, intellect, ego, personality as an individual. What is behind that individual? It is Satchidanand. Where is the problem? Why we need to contemplate and reflect again and again? Because my entire sense of I is still tied to what is changing, what is aging, passing through the body, roles, emotions. So every change feels like a personal collapse. Means what? Ignorance. What is ignorance? Not knowing who I am. Assuming, I simply assume. I am in anxiety, so I simply take it for granted that I'm reacting. Yes, then I'm reacting. I'm angry. Yes, I don't look behind. I don't see the cause behind it. So first level is ignorance and second is delusion. Why delusion? Because I brand myself that I'm the body and the mind. So ignorance and delusion, and then what happens? Then I suffer. When I claim that I'm anxiety, so obviously I'm suffering. I am finished, nobody loves me, I am lonely, I am a failure. Ah, what happens? This I am, who is this I am? Is the sum of the body, mind, intellect, and ego, nothing more than that. So the next moment, after a few days, you say that I'm successful. Now you see the success, you get $10 million, you are successful. So you projected $10 million and you only get $1 million. Now you see mood has changed. Half success and half failure. What? So today you are successful, and day yesterday you said that you are a failure. So you are two. And then we become three. We become four. We become five. We become millions. These are the millions of the waves. Behind it is only water. So when we take it for granted, come on, mind, you are putting me into a hot spot. Don't put me into the hot spot. You are in ignorance. So that existence is Sat, unbroken, continuous existence. The fact that I am in all the states. That is why we are going to go in detail. I'm in all the states. I'm present in the waking state, dream state, and deep sleep. Do you experience you are a failure, you are agitated, you are married or single or lonely or sad in deep sleep? No. Do I feel the same thing in dream? Yes. How long? For a few seconds. And the moment I wake up, I find that was the dream. So if that is the dream, so this is also the dream in a waking state of your success, failure, anxiety, duality, and a conflict. You are beyond that. This dream extends for 24 hours. That and the real dream state exists for hardly a few minutes. And you lay aside, you brush aside. No, it was a dream. I'm okay. So why don't you brush aside whatever is happening in the waking state? That is also a dream. No, that is real me. So, okay. So, in deep sleep, you are false I? You don't exist? What you are talking about? You see how the. So, it means that there is something in the deep sleep, in the dream, and in the waking state that does not change. It is unbroken, continuous existence. Oh, is that existence, consciousness, and bliss, Satchidanand? Yes. That is what we are trying to discover. Not only we discover intellectually, we consciously experience that we are the real self of the nature of peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. Constantly, consciously experience that. And when you consciously, consistently, you experience it, is an irreversible process. It doesn't reverse. Once you get a feel of it, it doesn't reverse. Your mind goes back to the same thing. Even you may have some impulsive impurity is present in the mind. You may become angry the next moment you return. Oh my goodness, why I fell into ignorance. Now, that entity doesn't leave you. So we have to recognize that inner sun process. We have to link it to the Mangalacharan every day as a seeker without fail. You wake up in the morning, the first thing you remember Mangalacharan, that will take you to the truth. You remember that you are in anxiety, it's a bad morning, it is taking you to the same world. Think. So that is why we have our masters have discovered the Mangalacharan. Oh, every time you wake up in the morning, and followed by practice, and then you return to this self-awareness in real time. Self-awareness in real time means I am in anxiety. No, this is a thought of anxiety. It is present in the mind. I am separate and different from it. You insert your self-awareness in real time, and then see what happens. I'm lonely. The real self is alone. Alone means all one. Alone, the word has come from two words. One is all, and second is one. All one. You are not lonely. You are all one. And so it means you reframe your aging process, you reframe your loss, you reframe your anxiety reaction and duality. Because if you don't reframe and if you claim that this is me, you are already adding up the delusion and ignorance. It will not work. So throughout the day, I have to do it. Connect back to the Shreyas and why? Because I connect back to the Shreyas and Preyas. That is why it is the fifth lesson. Fifth lesson. The science is touching modern psychology or modern physicists. They touch the surface of it. So the science has started saying that don't claim the thoughts as you, but these thoughts as events in the mind. That is how the metaphysicist people disclaim. We have been doing it for so long, for the last 10,000 years. They have just changed the language. Maybe these scientists have studied the Upanishad and then they say, okay, let me rephrase it so that people say, I have discovered it. Oh, in scientific research, all the uh, stealing and thieving. So, this observing self is associated with a better mental health and resilience. Modern psychology says cognitive behavior therapy, CBT, is a very important therapy tool. They say, no, just observe, notice. From where you have got it? It's a scientific discovery. No, it is Eastern wisdom. We have been saying it for so long. How can you say it is a discovery? Observing the self. So when you continue to observe thoughts, feelings, emotions, keeps on changing, it clarifies that this I is different from all these thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And after that, Eastern wisdom goes deeper and it helps you to recognize and realize Shravan, Manan, Nididhyasan, and Mangalacharan. Let me take one question more. That is the beauty of the masters of the Eastern wisdom. They raise question and they answer so that your doubt is gone. So isn't this I am Satchidanand you are saying just a spiritual positive thinking?
No,
It is
it's not
not.
simple.
It is not thinking. We have to be very clear. Positive thinking repaints the same wall. You have anxiety inside and you say, no, I am in peace. It repaints. But Satchitanand points to the reality. You are not trying to feel good about the same wave. You are recognizing the ocean. Two waves, one wave is positive thinking, other is negative thinking. No, we are not talking of two waves. We are talking beyond that. What if I feel nothing when I say this? Better. Live into that state of non thinking. And if you get attached to that, if you get engaged in that journey, Buddha says nothingness and emptiness. Still, you are gaining something. Yeah,
But nothingness and emptiness, it's still existence.
it is still existence. And when there is existence, it is still consciousness. When it is existence, it is still bliss. Okay, this is what you say. Yes. So, uh, that is how our masters worked on Buddhist philosophy and Buddhist principles for more than 500 years. We have great masters who asked us to return to this Satchidanand rather than sticking to the emptiness. They don't reject,